No one talks about this Disney World restaurant, but it might be even better than some of those hard-to-get reservations. In fact, one of Disney World's most famous desserts has a much cheaper rival here. Let's check out Sebastian's Bistro at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. Located here at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, this is a family-style kind of dining with rich Latin and Caribbean flavors. If you like Ohana, you actually might like this. Now, it does serve dinner only, but you can actually get here from the Skyliner, from Hollywood Studios, and Epcot, and if you have a reservation, you can park at this resort. We do often recommend grabbing reservations, however, we have a history of being able to find these day of. So while we think you should grab one, if you're here and it's random and you think, hey, I want to go, definitely check because you never know, they're almost always available. Now, when it comes to pricing, it's going to be $38 for adults, which is really just people 10 and older, and then it's going to be $20 per child. Of course, both of those do not include tax and gratuity, but this is going to be one of the cheapest meals that you're going to find in all of Disney World, much cheaper than Ohana, which is actually a very similar style of dining. So we just sat down, we'll talk about the atmosphere in a minute, and I already love it here, but we already have our appetizers out, and we're going to go ahead and talk about what those look like. First, they brought us these buttery house-baked pull-apart rolls. It actually comes with a cheddar Mickey biscuit on top, which I think is so cute, and then it also comes with a guava butter on the side, as well as a caramelized onion jam. These look absolutely delectable, and I cannot wait to literally pull them apart. Next, they brought us out the spice necklace salad, which I'm never excited about salads, but I did tell the reporter that's with me, I am really pumped about this one. It's mixed greens with kale, spiced candied pumpkin seeds, tropical fruit, and radishes, and a key lime dressing. This feels like a very solid start. I have never been here before, so big hopes. Okay, I am starting off with our salad because I am so pumped about it, so cheers. Do you have your salad? Okay, I'm sure you got it now. Okay, cheers. I was so right to be excited about this salad. This is so light and refreshing. The greens are really fresh, they're nice and crunchy, but for me, what I think is so interesting is the mandarin oranges or the tropical fruit on there. They're really fresh, they're just kind of burst in your mouth. And I also think that the pumpkin seeds it tastes like, or I'm seeing what looks like maybe some sunflower seeds, so make sure to ask your waiter just for clarity. But they're candied, so they're super sweet, but they're nice and crunchy as well. Texturally, it's really interesting. And then the key lime dressing, I won't lie, I'm not getting like a ton of flavor from that because I think that the mandarin orange overpowers it, but I like that it's light and bright like that. And so I think it comes with the meal anyways. Definitely try it out, but I'm really impressed with this so far. We'll say for posterity, the reporter who I'm with did not like the fruit in her salad. She just didn't like the texture and didn't like the differing, like the sweetness with the more savory items. So if that's something that you're not a fan of, definitely be aware before you try the salad. Same roll, but with the guava spread this time. Ooh. There's so much happening. First off, absolutely love the bread. It does really easily pull apart. It's light and fluffy in your mouth like a cloud. Really fresh. Really very happy about the bread. Now the two dips, or the two spreads I should say, I'm going to start with the caramelized onion. I loved it. It was so strange. It was very savory but almost sweet because they had been caramelized. Now, of course, it was heavy on that onion flavor, but it wasn't like a dragon breath onion flavor, like it's going to make your breath smell really bad. Very subdued and just kind of almost like a acidic, earthy flavor. Really loved that. I could definitely see how it's not for everybody. If you don't already like onions, you're not going to enjoy that. You're not going to like that kind of a bite at the end, the acidity, but it's definitely a subdued onion flavor. Really loved that. The guava spread was also incredible. It was like a butter, texturally, just melted right onto the bread and right into my mouth, but then had a subtle sweetness at the end, almost fruity, but not an overwhelming sense of fruitiness, and bright and a little different. So very pleased with both of these appetizers. They're starting us off strong.
Are you, young lady?
Okay, in the spirit of sharing, I am taking a piece of Mickey's ear from the Mickey cheddar biscuit so we can try it out. It actually reminded me of a Cheez-It, but not as sharp. So it was really light and fluffy and flaky, really kind of fell apart in my mouth, but had a nice cheesy flavor. And again, reminded me of a Cheez-It, but not so sharp, very subtle. So interesting combo. Honestly, I'm very pleased with everything. It's been my least favorite so far, but it's cute and it's Mickey shaped and it's like a Cheez-It. So I think your kiddos will be excited about that. Or adults who really love Cheez-Its. We do exist. Now, of course, we could not pop in without grabbing some drinks. So first here on the left is actually one of the non-alcoholic beverages. This is the Flounder Colada of Ressin. It's a frozen blend of pineapple, coconut, and banana layered with orange flavored ice cream and topped traditionally with whipped cream, although we did not get any. Now over here is one of the specialty cocktails. This is the Caribbean Smuggler. It's Captain Morgan orange spiced rum with Parrot Bay coconut rum and cranberry and pineapple juice. So we're trying one of each. We're really excited about these, and frankly, I can't believe they would blend up flounder like that. I mean, I'm still willing to give it a try though. Okay, we're gonna try flounder first. I'm sorry, little buddy, but you're not a guppy, at least. Ooh, this is really good. So that is smooth, it's creamy, of course, it's tropical and fruity. This is a perfect kid drink, but frankly, I think this is a good mocktail option too. Reminds me a lot of like a nice souped up pina colada, just without the alcohol. Really, really like that. Very pleased, Flounder, you did a great job, because I think I'm gonna probably finish that. I'm probably gonna enjoy every single second of it. And I didn't think I would. But before we get too far, the heaviest flavor profile is definitely that orangey ice cream, but then the coconut comes in and the pineapple, and it just melds together beautifully. So really, really love that. Next up, Caribbean Smuggler. My first thought after that first sip is A, stir it, but B, I feel like shouting 2 shots of rum, like you know from Trader Sam's. That's what they shout. That's I'm just tasting 2 shots of rum. Comes through. I think it's nice, it's light, but if you're looking to have like a one drink kind of night, this is probably the one drink you'll have. Weirdly though, I'm actually gonna say that I like the non-alcoholic better, which I traditionally don't fall into, but it's surprisingly, I think, more of a mocktail than I would have anticipated. So really pleased, even though it's ice cream. Don't make fun of me. I really love it. I will also say you can grab enhancements to go with your meal, and we opted to grab one. There are 3, but we went with the crab and fish cake. It has tropical mango slaw as well as an aioli on the side, and oh my gosh, these look incredible. If this is not your speed, they also have fried coconut shrimp and a seafood one that comes with passion fruit and plantain chips. Before we try our crab cake, the full spread did come out, and I'm so excited. We are doing the Taste of the Caribbean, so it's gonna be a selection of a lot of things. First, you're gonna find some oven roasted citrus out. Now for the sides, you're gonna find this with the Harvest of the Caribbean, which is also the vegan option. It's gonna be the same dish for us, looks like broccolini. So we're gonna tear into this. I am so excited. And again, this works family style, so if you want more of any specific item, just let your waiter know. Before we dive into all of that goodness though, we are gonna dive into our crab cake before it gets too cold. Because you guys know, phone eats first around here. Okay, cheers. That's good. So it is nice, it's really heavy and meaty. The outside is seared perfectly, so it's really nice and crispy. The inside is still really soft. It's really veggie heavy. I'm seeing corn, green onions, what probably looks like carrots or bell peppers. It's really robust in its flavor, but really light. Probably not the freshest crab cake you'll ever have, but I think it's really nice. And for $13 to get 2 of them, I don't think that's bad to enhance, especially if you're here with another person. Now the jumbo crab is only $10 and you get 6 of them, so I also think that's a pretty good deal. But as far as wanting to elevate your experience, I think that's a nice, really inexpensive way to do that. So really, really pleased with the crab cakes. Very impressed. And I also think the aioli on top is really nice and kind of course, heavy on the mayonnaise. I don't know why I said it that way. Heavy on the mayonnaise, but just nice and creamy and really ties all of those flavors together. And although it's not dry, I could see it if they are on the drier side by the time you get to enjoy it, with that aioli just really kind of making it moist and really enjoyable. I also want to say I really like the slaw on the side. It's nice, it's crispy, it's fresh, really light, really bright and colorful, and it does have that nice acidity, which I think cuts through the aioli really well. But I actually mixed it up together and really, really loved it. So overall, really nice and hit rice and beans. Sounds good. Feels like a solid start. Get your carbs in, right? Okay. Loves rice. Now, I will say it's cooked to perfection in my opinion. It's nice and soft, it's not too hard, but it's also not mushy. It's almost sticky together as well. The beans are really nice and soft, but again, not mushy. They, I think, mixed together really well. Now the cilantro is really subtle. I expected a little bit more of that flavor, but I think it's a nice starchy carb. I think it will be great, especially underneath that vegetable curry and with probably the fish. It's just really nice. It's your typical rice, but I've had worse rice at Disney World, so that's why I'm pleasantly surprised by this. Okay, next up we're gonna go vegetable stew. And I'm just kind of sitting here looking at it. I'm seeing what looks like green beans, potatoes, tomatoes, onions, I think some red bell peppers and spinach, and oh, cauliflower too. Cheers. I'm really giggling right now because the reporter and I are having very different feelings on this curry. I absolutely love it. I think it is so nice and light and feels like it comes straight from the garden. I really, really enjoy everything. Everything just felt, again, like bright and crispy and fresh. However, she hated it. She's not a huge vegetable lover though, and to me I got almost like a tomato soup kind of vibe from the base, and she said it really well. It's like a beef stew but no beef in it. I love that. If you don't love that and you're not a big vegetable eater, this is not going to be it for you, and it is heavy on the tomato flavor, so if you don't like that kind of tomato acidity in your different vegetables, maybe steer clear of this one, but I really like it. I think the quality is there, and I just think that it balances really well with what's undeniably going to be some pretty heavy meat. Next up is the broccolini. It's fresh, it's crispy, and you can tell that it's been grilled based on the flavor, which I really, really like. It's garlicky, it's buttery. The tops are really soft and chewable and not mushy though. And then the stalks themselves are still nice and crispy, so you get a great crunch. Now, I will say, I love this. I can see kiddos only liking about half of it, or people who are picky might only like the treetops, if you know what I mean. But I'm really pleased with the sides. I think they offer a great variety. The stew kind of curry vibe, some starches, some vegetables. I think they're all really fresh and crisp, and for what you're paying, I think they're, again, just really nice and bright. So pleased with those. Now let's dig into what I'm most excited for. Actually, that's not true. What I'm second most excited for, which is the whole meat platter. We're gonna start with the steak, which I'm most excited about because I'm a steak and potatoes kind of girl. So our waiter did tell us the steak comes out anywhere from medium rare up to medium. However, if you do want something specific, you can definitely ask for that and they will make it happen. I love this though. I would say this leans more on the medium rare side. It's a little bit chewy, but not in a really negative way. It's just good and fatty. I think the char on the outside adds a wonderful flavor, and it's also got almost like a nice little acidity to the outside. I don't know what's on top of it, but I really, really enjoy this. I think it's prepared really well, and I bet if this was piping hot, like when it first comes out, like you guys will be having it, it would be even better. Starting off strong, really like this one. Okay, next up is the chicken. Now it does come, we got 2 drums and a breast, but I cut it off for cleanliness. Chicken thoughts, really love how flavorful it is. The skin was so tender. Lots of herbs, really fresh. Now I will say the actual chicken itself was a little bit on the drier side, but the bites that I've had so far, the skin more than made up for that. And I also wonder if it's because we've had it for a little bit, so a little bit of an asterisk there. Still prefer the steak, but really good chicken. If you do have people, I know that I have a lot of friends who feel weird about like chicken being on the bone. Definitely recommend cutting it up first, or maybe cutting it up for your kiddo, but really like it, although a little bit dry. The fish course with some of the tropical salsa. Okay, this was absolutely really lovely. The fish was light. It was a white fish. I cannot remember for the life of me exactly what he said. It's a sustainable fish though, and oftentimes they will kind of switch it around based on what the availability is and what is freshest. But it was really nice, super flaky, not overly salty or fishy. A nice subtle flavor, but nice and meaty as well. I really liked it. You do need to enjoy seafoods of any kind to enjoy this. It comes with a Veracruz sauce on top, which is kind of heavy. It's almost it has like capers and olives and things like that in it, as well as tomatoes. So it had a really nice salty olivey flavor, which paired well with the more simple fish. Really liked it. And then I also paired it with the what looks like a mango chutney. I don't know if that's what it says on, I think it's a mango chutney. I don't see it on the menu when I glance, but I love the chutney. It's really nice, very bright and flavorful, super light, and pairs well with the fish in my opinion. And heavy on the mango flavor, but I really love that. It makes everything kind of tie together in the tropical flavors that we've had throughout the meal. Mojo pork. This is the thing I was least excited about on the plate, but I really like it. There's a surprising acidic flavor, a more vinegar-based option, but it's really nice and moist, kind of melts in your mouth, which compared to the chicken, which was a little bit on the dry side, this is a really nice surprise. It's really, I think it adds to the kind of well-roundedness of the entire plate. You have a little bit of something for everybody, and I think the acidity is something you've not seen in the other meats, so I'm pleased that it's an option. Not my favorite, but it comes with it, so try it out at least once. Okay, and I'm gonna talk really fast because it is melting, but we are finishing off our night with this incredible dessert. This is the celebrated house-made coconut pineapple bread pudding with a caramel sauce and vanilla ice cream, and it's kind of giving Ohana banana bread pudding, but we're gonna see. Jury is out. Dessert, I'm so excited about this. This is what I'm most excited about for the whole meal. Cheers. Exactly as I had suspected, this is the Ohana bread with some coconut in it. It is so sweet and almost creamy. The caramel sauce is so decadent. It just melts right across the top, and then the ice cream, because the hot caramel sauce just melts into it. It's wonderful. And I will say, and I'm gonna ask my reporter what she thinks about this too. I keep saying you're not my reporter. I'm also gonna ask the reporter what she thinks, because I don't get a lot of comfortable in that way. I love it. I think it's a perfect way to end our night. And frankly, because it's all you can enjoy, we might just have to get a second platter of it. When it comes to atmosphere here in Sebastian's, it is so nice and beachy. It's light. You're gonna see a lot of really bright colors, as well as some pictures of even Sebastian up on the walls. And frankly, I just love the vibes. I think it's perfect for Caribbean beach resort because it's just like you're stepping into the Caribbean. Just like that, we are all finished up here. And if you can't tell, I have really enjoyed it. I think per price per person, especially that $20 for children, is so reasonable. The quality of the food was really fresh, it was really bright, and with Ohana pudding, I think it is a great alternative financially to Ohana itself. Plus, it's all you can enjoy. I mean, what else can you ask for? At that price, I think it's definitely worth it. So the big question is, should you eat here or should you keep clear? Let's talk about if you should eat here. If you're staying at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, yeah, of course you should eat here. You're definitely close, it's a great sit-down option, and you don't have to travel too far. Another reason you should eat here is if you are looking to try a few different types of meals, but you only want to pay one kind of budget-friendly price, this is a great option for that. Finally, if you're looking for a last-minute reservation, this is almost always going to be a good one to grab, and we think that you should eat here if you're looking for that. But should you keep clear? There's going to be a few reasons that yes, you should. If you're not a huge fan of Caribbean or Caribbean flavors, this is probably not going to be the one for you. Although they are not super strong per se, they are definitely there in the palate, and it might be too much, especially for picky eaters. Another reason to keep clear is if you're willing to splurge a little bit for more exciting endeavors. That's when you're going to choose something like Ohana over something like Sebastian's Bistro. Finally, if you've got those picky eaters like we kind of touched on already, definitely keep clear. Although I loved it, definitely not everyone will. Thank you guys so much for spending your evening with me. I had the best time. I loved this so much, and I can't wait to come back again. If you guys like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Now go check out our full video on Ohana. I'll see you over there.